Airbnb gives you the opportunity to make a ton of money. Here's my experience. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how much money you can make on Airbnb, but before I do, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Hey everyone, my name is Jorge Contreras and I have built my Airbnb portfolio to over 150K a month fully on autopilot. Here's what I've learned, guys, is that entrepreneurship allows you to legally and literally print your own money when executed correctly. So let's talk about it. If you were to start with the subleasing, also known as the arbitrage model, where you rent properties, get permission in writing, and then launch them on Airbnb, what I've learned is that it's possible to make anywhere between $1,000 to $4,000 a month in profit. And this is after all expenses, after paying your rent, utilities, cleaning. Now, it's very important to note that a lot of people, when they get into this business, if they have no entrepreneurship experience, no Airbnb or real estate investing experience, they often do this incorrectly. So when I say 1 to 4K, I'm talking about people that truly educate themselves, truly learn about the business before getting started. Because here's the thing, guys, the less you know about something, the more risky it is. And the more you know about something, the less risky it is, right? That's why it's so important to find someone who already has a result and outcome that you desire and learn from them. Now, typically in my portfolio, I make anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month in profit from all of my Airbnbs. But again, I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. I've been a real estate investor for 10 years. And I started my Airbnb business back in 2017. So now I've grown my business to over 150K a month. And so I obviously have a lot of experience. I know where to find the properties. I know how to look at the data in order to find the existing performance. I understand the regulation. I know how to speak to landlords. And I understand the contracts. So I've really mastered everything from A to Z. And so for me, my profit margins, like I said, are pretty high. So for those of you that decide to actually learn how to do this from someone who's already successful, it's possible to make anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month. And the reason I say that, right, is let's say somebody's watching this video right now, it could be you, and you have no business experience. You've never had any business. You've always had, say, just a 9 to 5. You've never invested in real estate. You've never had an Airbnb. And all of a sudden you decide, like, you know what, I'm going to start an Airbnb. And you maybe started in the wrong location, maybe it's not the right type of property, maybe it doesn't have the right amenities, and guess what? Maybe you lose money, right? This happens every single day. And that's why the most important thing you can do is watch all the videos on my YouTube channel and maybe join the real system so you can truly have hands-on mentorship and guidance. But my point is you want to get educated, you want to learn the business so that you don't go through the learning curve and you don't make all the mistakes yourself. Now let's talk about co-hosting. Co-hosting is where you actually manage other people's Airbnbs. So let me clarify. When you are a co-host, you are basically in the management business. You are managing other people's Airbnbs, right? So it's not your Airbnb. What you own is a management company. And what you are essentially doing is managing and overseeing the operations, right? Cleaning, maintenance, communication, maybe communicating with the city, the neighbors, anything that involves the short-term rental business. So typically the most common structure of compensation is charging anywhere from like 10 to 25% of the gross revenue. So for example, let's say you're charging 20% of the total revenue and this Airbnb is making, say, 10K a month. 20% of that is basically $2,000, right? That is more on the high end. But typically anywhere from $500 to $2,000 is realistic on the monthly basis to make as profit when you are a co-host. Now, one of the benefits of co-hosting is that you don't have to put any down payments, no closing costs because you're not buying it, but you're also not renting the property yourself, which means no rent, no deposit, no furniture. You literally have zero expenses out of pocket. This is a great strategy for someone that literally has no money to buy or to sublease properties. You can start with the management side, build your experience, your credibility, and ultimately a savings account so eventually you can acquire your own subleases or purchases. By then, you would already have all the experience necessary to run the business. And typically what I recommend is do not spend your profits unless you absolutely need the money to pay for your everyday costs like your rent or mortgage or living expenses. But what I've done since I've started back in 2017 is I've always reinvested the profits. What does that mean? Well, let's say I'm making $2,000 a month from my first sublease. And after 6 months, that's 12 grand, right? 6 months times 2 grand is 12,000. I'll take that money and I'll go and launch another sublease. So what I do is I reinvest the money back into the business. So eventually you can build your portfolio to 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever your goal is. So again, this is called delayed gratification also, right? Because you could take that money and go buy yourself a nice Tesla or a Lamborghini. But if you truly want to build a successful business that can replace your 9 to 5, you want to reinvest those profits back into the business so you can create a snowball effect and it can continue to grow and grow and grow. If you guys are liking the content so far, I would truly appreciate it if you guys will smash the like button. Thank you so much. To elaborate a little more on the delayed gratification, right? My all-time favorite dream car is a Tesla Model X, which I have today. The truth is, I could have gotten this car 2 years prior than when I actually did. But instead, I kept taking that money, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, and I just kept reinvesting back into the business, getting more and more and more and more Airbnbs. By the time I actually got my Tesla Model X, I could have gotten like 10 of them, right? But delayed gratification is something that many and most entrepreneurs practice. Even though you can afford your dream vehicle, it doesn't mean you should go and buy it right now. Instead, reinvest back into the business, add fuel into the fire, create a snowball effect so you can replace your 9 to 5, maybe your spouse, or you can retire your parents, whatever your goal is. And by implementing this reinvesting strategy, right, that's how I've gotten today to over 150K a month and how I've helped 3,000 plus students begin their journey to creating time, location, and financial freedom is by implementing these same systems. And if you're somebody who is truly serious about building your own Airbnb empire without owning real estate, and you want to get to 10K a month without owning real estate in 90 days or less, there's a link down in the description down below where you can schedule a free 15-minute consultation with my team to see if we can help you get the ball rolling. With that being said, guys, check out one of my other videos here in the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.